flower chat with Living on a Prayer Flower Farm. If you just stumbled on this video, my name is Jessie and I'm a flower farmer in Zone 8B, and I try to once a week do a live flower chat. So thank you for joining everybody who is joining this live. Who all is here? Let me make sure that my live chat's gonna go. Hey Sarah, look at you already here. How are you doing? I know my husband is here. I'm kind of liking setting up here by my fall sign. Got my pig Wilbert with me. And of course, you know, I've got to have fall candles going already because it's fall. I don't care if fall technically isn't until September 21st. Here, it is fall already. So a few other housekeeping items as we get started. I would like to take a moment to thank Colorado Tulips, Sarah Ford, and Jenny Harrison for the super thanks and super chats that y'all have done. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are actually what's supporting this channel right now. So thank you for helping me keep going and be able to do this channel. Greatly appreciate it. I also want to take this time to let you know that about half of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you are watching my videos and you're enjoying them, do me a solid and hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And if you're joining this live and getting value out of it, be sure to hit the the like button. I'm not sure if y'all are commenting or not, but nothing's popping up. Oh, there we go. Christine's Garden. Hi, how are you? Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad you like my fall decor. I don't know why this wasn't going up like it was supposed to. I've got my Learning as We Grow mug here, drinking some decaf coffee this evening. Another housekeeping item, YouTube now has my merch shelf. So you can actually, if you're on a desktop version of YouTube, you can go to my channel page and click shop. And if you watch my videos on desktop, you'll also be able to see merchandise listed below. Because, y'all, I was at the farmer's market this weekend, my last farmer's market, and it was almost hoodie weather. Almost hoodie weather. Yeah, Christine, you finally made it. You made it to a live. I promise I'm gonna keep this up, I hope. Try and keep this nice and regular. Dear Lord, Gus, please don't take out my mic. But it was almost hoodie weather at the farmer's market. I was like, oh gosh, it's coming. Fall is coming. Which, I don't know about y'all, but fall is my favorite time of year. I love the cool weather. I love the decor. I love Halloween. Mirren, I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name. Last name Jagger. Thank you. Welcome to the live chat. I'm glad to have you here. So today we are talking about imposter syndrome, how to get over imposter syndrome. We're going to be talking about how I'm already falling behind on fall bulbs. Totally happening. And how I'm cutting down on my orders that I ordered for fall if possible. I've actually cut back on some of my fall bulbs that I ordered. Hey, Blinded by the Light, welcome to the live. So we're going to start off with the fall bulbs and cutting back. So I started going through last week my invoices of orders that I've put in with Ownings and with Ball Seed Company. Hi, Colorado Tulips. Welcome to the live. So with Ownings, if you're in America, it's kind of difficult to start out from ordering from them. The easiest thing I found was to go and just email the company and ask for the representative's email, and they will send that to you, and then you contact them to do everything. They're kind of like GeoSeed. It's all paper forms. Nothing is online. So I had to go look back through my emails, and I saw where from Ownings I ordered about 2,500 to 3,000 anemones plus 500 ranunculus. I was like, okay, Jessie, we said we wouldn't do that this year. We said we would not go overboard. You already went overboard with the seeds. Y'all saw that, right? With all the campanula and delphiniums. So I was like, I'm trying to save money. I don't have enough money to pay for all these bulbs up front. So let me go ahead and start cutting down this order. So I eliminated all the ranunculus from that order. The only ranunculus I'm going to get this year are the ones that I've already ordered from Jake, and that's it. I went ahead and cut down my anemone order to about 1,000 anemones, and that's it. Yeah, you're trying to cut down too, Christine. It's not easy. It's like, I want to grow it all, but realistically, I was really hoping to be profitable this year. I had crop failure. I had tulip fire. I had deer issues. So I can't invest in that many bulbs again just to fail. Which I wouldn't say this year was a fail. I learned so much. This year was very educational. Ramilda, you are not late. You are just on time. Welcome to the live. I'm so glad to have you here. And as educational as this year was, I've got to get it through my head not to order as many bulbs and seeds. Are you proud of me, Ramila? I'm learning. So I've been cutting down that order. So I emailed Ownings and asked them, hey, is it too late? Can I please cut out this and this? And I'm waiting on a response. I'll either get a bill for everything to order for me. I really hope so. Were definitely my favorite fall flower last year. I liked them more than the tulips. I liked them more than the daffodils. Anemones were just amazing. Does that mean hello? Yes, it's going to be better to have fewer. I think so. And then with Ball Seed Company, I had even more anemones on order and about 6,000 tulips. I was like, geez, okay, let's get to cutting these. I'd already ordered some that I've paid for through Jake. And most of them were 1,000 quantity. So 2 crates worth of 500s. And the colors were what I was looking at. I was like, all right, let's think about color scheme this year. How are we putting these together? And purples and pinks combination, along with a little bit of yellow, sold really well. Oh, okay, learned something new. Oh, hang on. Hey, K-Max. Yeah, it always seems good. My backyard gourds, welcome to the live. I'm glad to have you here. We're talking about how I'm cutting back on my fall order, or trying to cut back on my fall order, because I ordered way too much. And I have realized I've ordered way too much. So I'm keeping, I think I cut it down to like 3,000 tulips instead of the 6,000. I cut it in half. I got rid of all my white tulips that I ordered. And I kept the Foxytrot or Foxytrotty. Those are the ones that Florette has recommended. I kept a purple one and a Madonna. It's like a yellow double parrot tulip. All the ones I ordered this year mostly came from the Florette tulip cut flower list. If you've ever signed up with Florette Farms newsletter, she will let you know when she's doing fall classes, and she'll send Florette's favorite tulips and things like that. Yeah, you scared you might max out the credit card? Been there, done that. You just don't tell them. You just keep paying on it. It's all for the farm, so it's okay, right? No, but seriously, don't do that. So that's what I'm doing at this point, is I'm cutting back on these orders and emailing these companies. I submitted my request to change that tulips to just be those double tulip combos that I know will do well. Last year when I ordered all these tulips, I wasn't really sure what would sell well, but now I do. Another thing that I'll also be doing different this year, oh, hang on. They're addictive. Yes, Colorados, they are so very addictive. They're just coming up. Let me know, Sarah, how those tulips do. I'm very excited. And you should definitely send me some pictures of your flowers. Y'all, feel free to send me emails to my business email showing me your farms. It's Living at a Prayer Flower Farm, all one word, @gmail.com. You're just starting out with flowers. You're going to do great in my backyard gourds. Hey, Renee. Welcome to the live. I'm glad to have you here. But last year I wasn't sure what was working, so now I kind of know, and I'm doing good with that. And last year I was still kind of freaking out about tulips. If you haven't heard this on the live yet, tulips are a freaky flower to grow and harvest. Harvesting tulips and saving them in the fridge will test your faith in these tulips. Hey Lisa, I'm so glad to have you here on the live as well. And I mean, when you pull out these tulips that you harvested and kept out of water and they look like death, it is a very scary experience. But now I know that it's going to be okay to harvest the tulips, clean them up, dry them, place them in some paper wrap and lay them sideways, horizontal in the fridge and stack them and take them out as I need them. Last year I was bringing everything I had at once to the market. I was going to the market with about $1,200 worth of flowers, and looking back through my sales on Square, the max I really hit at every market is around $600. Yes, Lisa, I'm glad to have you on the weekend chat. I didn't start early this time, so I actually kept the 3:30 time slot. So I'm not going to bring more than $600 to every market. That is what I've decided. You know, I tried doing the $1,000 goal. I think that's possible on a weekly basis if I were to sell throughout the week as well, making deliveries before work. But realistically, hey, Pixie Petal Flower Farm, I'm glad to have you here on the live with me. As realistically as I can be, $600 worth of flowers and leaving the tulips that I harvest in the fridge and not getting them all in the water and rehydrate at once is going to be better. So $600 is going to be the max I bring to the farmer's market from now on. It's a good thing to always donate your flowers to the nursing home that you have left over. But when you're donating $400 to $500 worth of flowers to the nursing home, there's an issue. I should definitely have flowers left over. Dave Dowling and Lisa Mason-Ziegler make a good point. You don't want to be completely sold out, because sold out completely means you're missing out on potential profits. This last weekend was my last market. I didn't have much, and I sold out. But one thing I like about my market is we're not allowed to tear down if we sell out early. You have to stay the entire time. So I sit there and I greet and I chat and I talk to a lot of people. And one of my favorite parts was I had two new ladies who were doing voter registration table next to me, and they had never heard of me or seen me before. And they were asking me about my flowers in the farm where I'm located, and they decided to buy a bouquet for me. And I overheard the lady who bought them from me. She said, if they still look good on Monday, I'll bring them to the office and we'll have them in the office. And I just smiled and I thought, if they'll look good on Monday. Girl, they'll be looking good till next Monday. So I think I earned a repeat customer with her, because they did say that they would love to have flowers in the office as much as possible. Well, guess who's going to have flowers next year and can do that for them, especially since they're in downtown. 7 hours between us. My goodness. 10:30. Yeah, my bedtime's at 9. Whenever I do join the You Can't Eat the Grass lives and they go past 9, I'm like, peace. Or I'm in the bed in my pajamas all snug under the covers. I feel so old these days. I can't stay up past 9:30 without just dying. So that's what's going on there. Let's start getting into the imposter syndrome. I feel like a lot of us suffer with the imposter syndrome. You think, am I a flower farmer now? Am I allowed to call myself a flower farmer? I grow the flowers and I sell the flowers. So therefore, am I a flower farmer? I'm not large scale. I'm not doing this as a full-time job. You know, you come up with all these excuses of why you're not this thing. And what you have to remember is everybody that you're comparing yourself before started where you started, pretty much. Unless they had a ton of money to blow, they all started with nothing. They all started on a small scale, just trying to make it. So yes, if you grow flowers in your backyard and you sell them, you are a flower farmer. And it's, I mean, honestly, it's weird to say that, yes, I'm a flower farmer and I'm a YouTuber. It is what I am, and I have to stop comparing myself. You have to stop comparing yourself to everybody else. And then the moment you realize that just because your garden, your farm isn't beautiful like everybody else, it's freeing to be okay with that. To be okay with where you are on your journey. So imposter syndrome is just us being insecure, and we need to just stop comparing ourselves to other people. Take inspiration from those people and dream about that, but don't compare yourself to them, and realize that yes, you are a flower farmer, or if you're doing YouTube videos, you are a YouTuber. You don't have to do it full time to be that thing. And it's okay to feel insecure. It's okay to want to be what those other people have, but you really need to be yourself. And Lord have mercy, guys, when I started YouTube, I was trying to be everybody else. And if you went and watched one of my first videos of how to do snapdragons, I am trying so hard to be like Laura on Garden Answer, and it doesn't work because that's not who I am. For some reason, you people like me. I'm not sure why, but I'm appreciative of it. But you just have to learn to be yourself, and as soon as you start being yourself and being okay with where you're at and not going, well, they started growing flowers at the same time I did and they're doing way better and blah, blah, blah. You don't know their circumstances. Their circumstances are completely different from your circumstances. You may be working a full-time job and they're able to do this full-time. So don't compare yourself. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because y'all hear me all the time just like, worst flower farm tour ever. You have all these beautiful garden tours. I mean, have you seen North Lawn Flower Farm? Danielle, the way her yard looks, I am so jealous. And I'm over here the complete opposite, like, check out my dead plants. I try, right? That's what matters, is that we keep trying and that we're growing. I'm trying to make myself not talk as much or as quickly because my husband tells me I talk way too fast. Danielle. Isn't that North Lawn Flower Farm's name? Danielle? It's going to be really embarrassing if that's not her name. Yeah, it's Danielle. If I said Daniel, or if it came out as Daniel, it's Danielle. You know, that country accent sometimes gets some words mixed up. Thank you, Ramilda. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm looking at my list because, my brain is always scattered. Y'all, I've been getting out there into that farm and pulling so many weeds. Oh, here we go. Y'all talk fast here in New England, too. Thank you, K-Mags. Yeah, pump yourself up. Yes, I know North Lawn Flower Farm is just gorgeous. Good morning, little garden, big dreams. Welcome to it. Yes, she is definitely a master flower farmer. I would say that Danielle with North Lawn is right there on scale with Laura from Garden Answer. She may not, have as many views yet as Garden Answer, but oh my goodness, I would say flower-wise, she is on that same level. I am so jealous of all her beautiful flowers. But right now I've been pulling weeds, as many weeds as I can, trying to get that farm under control and ready for fall transplant. I am already behind on fall seed starting. Can you believe it? Can you believe that I'm already behind? Because I am. I need to be starting more flowers, and I just haven't. I guess I'm okay with that. I've learned to be okay with the fact that I'm going to be behind. I kind of feel like we're all behind constantly. But I've been busy trying to get my house in order and get the chaos tamed. during market season, I don't have time to clean and do everything else. So it just kind of gets a little junky. So now it's, okay, time to get everything back under control. I'm trying to get my diet back under control, get back on low carb for my diabetes and everything else. And that's just really taking up time. You're weeding today? Oh, Little Garden, Big Dreams. What's your favorite? Do you listen to a podcast or audiobooks when you're weeding? Right now, I've been listening to Morbid podcast. It's about true crime, paranormal, all that while I pull weeds. And some of these, that weed I'll call Karen, she is everywhere. And she is so hard to pull up and get rid of. That's just like a real life Karen. They're just hard to get rid of. But I'll be so happy to till up those sunflowers where I had the sunflowers at. I'm so ready to get rid of all those thistles that you're going to see in the next market video and cover it and let everything die. I think that's where I may do tulips. I'm not sure. I bought a bunch of cover crop seeds to do. So I may try doing a cover crop there and letting that grow. Go ahead and till it up, cover crop seeds, and see how that goes. I have definitely fixed the deer issue. The deer cannot get into my electric fence again. And you can see we've been pacing the side of it. You like listening to YouTubers like myself? Oh, thank you. I like to watch YouTube with coffee and just sit in my recliner with my pug. That's when I watch YouTube. But I'm out there and having to use my hands. I don't have to try and use my phone. Hey, Nicole's Garden. Thank you for joining the live. Hey, late is better than never, right? So I'm glad that I can finally keep the deer out. Any citrus trees? I do not grow any citrus trees. The last tree I tried to grow was a willow tree, and it's dead. It died on me. I don't know what happened. I had such great visions, Sean. So what am I cover cropping with? I am going to try and cover crop with, I believe it's a soybean vine and clover and something else. It's a mix. I bought it from Johnny's, and I bought like a 5-pound bag of it, but it's supposed to help put nitrogen and all the good stuff back into the soil. So I'm experimenting with cover cropping because I'm working the soil so much, and it's a give and take. I don't want to have to just keep trying to put in fertilizer. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome to the live. I'm glad to have you here. I've got to start taking care of the soil for long term. So I need to start experimenting with the cover crops. They have different mixes depending on what you're wanting to do. GeoSeed actually has a catalog that you can request, and they'll send you, and it's all about cover crops. So I'm excited to try and do those. Oh, I bet they have been beautiful. My daffodils should be arriving next month, and I'm so excited to have them and start putting them in the ground. This year should be a whole lot easier putting those in the ground than last year. Yes, Debbie, I am going to try and move more towards the no-till. With the tulips, I am collecting cardboard boxes right now to put down and compost and have them no-dig, no-till tulip. As you know, digging that trench was horrendous. And two, if I have tulip fire in more areas of the farm that I'm aware of, I think this will help prevent that. Plus, it allows me to add compost to an area where I need compost for my summer-loving flowers or spring-loving flowers. So we'll see how that goes. I really need to start putting more tarp down to kill more grass and weeds in an area. I need to dig up, don't tell my mom, I need to dig up a rose bush. I've got like 2 rose bushes out there in the main farm area that I bought when I first kind of got into flowers, and I'm surprised they're still up. I need to dig them out and throw them away. Oh, Renee, that would be lovely. Actually, Johnny's Select Seeds is a great resource. If you're into cool flowers, Lisa Mason Ziegler has a book called Cool Flowers that goes into great detail, but Johnny's also just did a trial, and they released when did they start flowers, when did they transplant them, everything, and it's a really great resource. So Johnny's Select Seeds website, Growers Library, Flowers, wealth of knowledge. And then there's also a Facebook group, if you're on Facebook, Warm Climate Growers, wealth of knowledge there as well. If you're wanting to know how to do everything exactly, I'm not your girl. I'm like my mug says, I am learning as I grow. Sometimes I'm having to learn lessons over and over again. But I am not your expert, I'm sorry. Oh, dropped my paper. I am not an expert at all. I am just a girl trying to grow some flowers on a farm and inspire other people to get up and grow flowers as well. Oh my goodness, okay, hang on, let me get over here. We've used a few roses. I know I should move the roses, and my mom's gonna kill me when she finds out that I'm gonna dig them up and get rid of them. I'm trying to simplify here, which means I'm throwing away the roses. Hey Cherie, I hope I said your name right. From New Zealand. In preparation for our summer come December. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do have a lot going on. Are you drying flowers? I am not drying any flowers this year, Lisa. I just don't have room to dry flowers right now. I would love to eventually get me a greenhouse or a storage shed, but that's gonna be years down the road. Thank you, John, for saying I'm not an imposter. I appreciate that. Maybe you're doing an impressionist interpretation. It's a rose tree, Renee, that I got from O'Neill's garden. It's a hybrid tea rose tree. It looks horrible. It just needs somebody to love it. And then it's like a purple rose bush thing. I always buy the hybrid tea roses so that they won't die as easy. And let me tell you, they have not died. Oh, see, I love roses, especially the hybrid ones, because for the most part, you can hack them suckers and they live. It's the ones that have the health issues I stay away from because, hello, plant killer. But no, they're just in the middle and they're in the way of the farm. I'm too lazy to replant them, so it's just time to dig them up and get them out of the way. And you know what else I have to dig up? Here in Zone 8, I don't technically have to dig up my dahlias, but they are so unhappy where they're at. The only dahlia that's actually blooming right now is Michaela Miranda. Michaela Miranda has been like just loving life. She is the only happy dahlia I have right now, and she is just going after it. And I'm like, you get it, girl. You grow. So Michaela Miranda dahlia, she is a winner if you live in a warmer climate. But I need to dig them up because I need to move them. And I know where I want to put them, but it's how do I protect them from the deer with where I want to put them, because they need to be somewhere where they get shade. They need morning sun, afternoon shade for where I'm at. We're just too hot and too humid for these dahlias. So if I move them somewhere where they get morning sun, afternoon shade, I have a feeling they'll do way better. I will not be buying dahlias this year. I say that now. I will not be buying more dahlias this year. I mean, I ordered 250 last year and didn't plant all of them. So this year, I've got to cut myself off from the dahlias. I'll replant what I've got out there, but otherwise, I'm not buying any new ones. I really need to just cut back and reevaluate. Year 3, so year 1 was a giant experiment. Year 2 is grow it all, and year 3 is simplify. Let's simplify, and let's see what we're really good at growing and how we can improve on what we've got. I'm also starting to freak out about the Canterbury bells. I'm pretty sure they hate me. They are the slowest, weirdest germinating seeds ever. I've got a few that are like this tall now, and then I've got a few that are just now germinating, and it's like, could y'all just all do it at the same time? But my delphiniums are doing great. My first year ever flower farming, my foxglove was so easy to germinate, and this year I'm having a hard time getting my foxglove to get it together. I'm not sure what's going on, so I need to restart more foxglove. I actually just need to get back there and kind of pot up some things and put them all into one tray or so on to free up some space. I need to start some Ammi, however you pronounce it. I need to start Dara. Still haven't started Dara. So many things. It's exciting. Next month I get to plant out all my bachelor buttons. I'm really wanting to do like Pepperhead Farm and have a place for my photographers to come and take pictures inside flowers. So I'm really excited about starting the bachelor buttons. My only fear is, this is once again outside of the deer fence, which means the deer can eat it. And I have learned the deer will eat bachelor buttons. They will eat them. They ate the ones I planted inside the flower farm area before I got the fence up last year. They mowed them down for me like 3 times. The first time I was like, well, they're just pinching them for me. It's fine. Second time I was mad. Third time I was like, are you kidding me? Deer fence is going up. So we'll see what happens. I've tried all the natural methods. I've tried sprinkling cayenne pepper. I've tried coyote pea. I've tried everything. The deer they're so horrible here. We'll see what happens. Maybe by planting enough flowers out there, they'll stop eating them all. I don't know. My family likes to hunt deer. I'm trying so desperately to be like, don't y'all want to come hunt? Come hunt in the backyard, get some meat, and, take care of my deer issue, please. Speaking of issues, I don't know what happened to Fred. I have not seen Fred the armadillo in a while. And I haven't seen any of the yard tore up from him either, which is weird. I'm guessing Fred has moved on. We shall see. But I don't know if deer will eat crocuses. Will deer eat crocuses? So I ordered those 2 for photographers. I'm about to open up my calendar. I'm going to attempt to use Google Calendar for photographers to go ahead and book in advance to take pictures of the daffodils. And I'm excited having photographers come out. A good bit of my income this year came from photographers. Well, let's say photographers came from my sister-in-law doing minis out back with all the flowers, and some of the pictures she took were just breathtaking. And I'm excited to see if the bulbs naturalize like they were supposed to or not. But planting more daffodils in that same area is going to be interesting. I'm wondering, how many bulbs am I going to hit and destroy by accident? Because there's no way to really mark them out there easily. So we'll see. I did learn that alliums in zone 8 do not do well unless you put them in the fridge. I'm not doing alliums this year. I've cut them out. If I did try to do alliums again, I would put them in the fridge as long as I do the tulips. And then I would plant them in a sandy, raised up bed. That is something I learned this year as well. Do you have any questions? I don't see any comments going right now, so I don't know if the comments just disappeared. There we go. Nope, just that. I was going to give them a chance since we were moving. Wish me luck. Good luck, little garden, big dream. I'm sure they will do great. Let's see, what else do I write down on my sheet for things that we can talk about? Oh yeah, so I did my very last market yesterday, and it was bittersweet. I've made so many good friends with the other vendors and with my community. And one of the market coordinator, she greeted me. She said, I've had people asking, when's the flower lady coming back? I'm like, I'm the flower lady of Ruston. I love it. It's like, well, I'm back. for one more market, because it's been a month since I've done a market, a little over a month. And I was just waiting on some sunflowers to bloom, and they did. And it was great seeing everybody back. Like I said, sold out. I had one bouquet left when one of my other customers came up. She was like, this is all? It's like, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. This is all I've got left. She said, well, I'll just come back and see you next week. It's like, you won't see me next week. This is my last market. I am done for the season. We have made it through flower farming 2022 season. It's time to look forward to 2023. But I'll still be going to the market to buy from the other vendors. I mean, some of them have the best food in the world. Second Round Bakery has the best cookies. You got microgreens. And my friend Kristen was so sweet. She came by and kept me company for a while. But it was so nice seeing all my customers, my returning customers. Several people who went, I follow your Instagram and your Facebook and saw it was your last market. So I had to get here to buy flowers. Yay! I love it when they follow my social media. Next year, when I go to do my first market again, I think I'll once again give away a free bouquet for market pickup. I'm still debating on CSA. If I did a CSA, I've decided I would have them pick up the flowers from the farmer's market, is what I would do. Let's see. Oh, I have been getting comments. I just couldn't see them. I don't know why this does that. Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry. It doesn't always tell me when I have a comment. It was not showing up. All right, Sarah. Dahlia bed to protect it from the deer. Oh, no, I'm so sad that the rabbits got your foxglove and I'm blocking the camera with my finger. I'm so sorry. Can I ask about the merch sizing for shirts? So Colorado tulips on the t-shirts, I find them to be a little tight. I order a large for myself. So if that tells you anything, I'll go ahead and tell you I'm like 140 pounds, 5'3". I order a large and they shrink in the washer. So depending on how you wear things, I wear a large, just FYI, letting you know. Hey, Alan, how are you and the wife doing? Glad to have y'all here. Thank you, John, telling people the like button. Your last market was today, Nicole. Oh, I hope it went well. Well, Nicole, you know how women's clothing is. Sizes are crazy. You learn to not really pay attention to whatever size fits. I can fit in a medium in some things, large in another. It's whatever looks good. Oh, you've got a rabbit. You ready to go to Elmer Fudd, John? Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. And guys, if you have watched live multiple times and you've watched my videos multiple times and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me, please. It just makes me feel better, to be honest with you. But, clothing-wise, that's where we're at with that. Do y'all have any other questions? Now that I can see my comments again, I don't know why they disappeared like that. That is so weird. YouTube. I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's the Wi-Fi. It could be a combination of both. I'm just sitting here talking, like, waiting on more comments to appear, and then y'all were saying things I just couldn't say. Sarah, we have debated on getting a cat. I'm not a cat person. I do not like cats. But I could see the benefit of having a cat outside, as long as it stayed outside. Y'all, my neighbor had a cat once. When I was growing up, my neighbor did, and we call it the night Snuggles attacked, because that cat went straight up crazy and started attacking them. It was psycho. Yeah, Lisa, sizes, they're just crazy. But that's the great thing about coffee cups. You don't have to worry about if it'll fit you or not. Dutch irises, Colorado tulips. Yes, I do grow Dutch iris tulips. Not tulips. Dutch irises. I love them. They are very easy to grow here, so I do grow them. I haven't ordered more. The ones I grew last year came back, so hopefully the ones I planted this year will come back. Your Great Dane's pretty good at it, except for groundhogs. It won't get the groundhogs, huh? So my dogs are just, they're house animals. Gus will growl and be very vicious at something until it kind of like charges at him, and then he is running and out of here. And Costly, well, she's the same way. Very deep bark, like aggressive. Yeah, I'm talking about you. But they'll chase after a deer, but that's about it. And even then, Miss Drama Queen over here, Costly, when I let her out, within 5 minutes, she's at my front door barking until I let her in. They are spoiled rotten. Wade's laughing at that, but they are so spoiled. They are definitely not farm dogs in the least bit. But maybe a cat wouldn't be so bad. And I do have a rabbit out there, which hasn't really been an issue. Ooh, okay, so I'm terrified of spiders, John. Me and spiders do not get along whatsoever. I try and leave them out though. But I buy ladybugs online off Amazon. I'll buy ladybugs and green lace-winged insects and put them out in the garden in the spring. And that really helped with pest control this year. I did 2 rounds of ladybugs and it did really well. I still had pests, but not nearly as bad as I would have had I not put those bugs out there, especially with the leaf hoppers. My first year, the leaf hoppers were horrendous, and I've noticed a huge difference by putting out those beneficial insects. It really does help your farm, especially if you're like me. You start off with, I'm going to spray neem oil and stuff, and then you don't spray it because you got to wait till at night to spray the neem oil because it can be bad for the good insects. And by the time it gets dark out there, you're tired and you want to go to bed. And you don't want to get up too early to go out there and spray because you got to go to work. So I take the lazy way out and I buy the good insects and try to place them out there. I've been thinking about buying those beneficial insect houses. Do any of you have experience with the beneficial insect houses? Do you know if they work? I would be scared that things like wasp or something would try to go in there, but I still find ladybugs throughout the garden. And I have to say the leafhoppers population was way down. I didn't have nearly as many aphids. It was a lot nicer. I did have an increase in spiders, so, and oh my goodness, y'all, I hate spiders. My cats go the hole diggers. I've gotten better with my fear of spiders, but I'm scared of them. It's an irrational fear. I have arachnophobia. I'm terrified of them. They're good for the garden. I try to avoid them at all costs. I can handle crickets. I can handle snakes. I haven't seen a single snake though. I have not heard of that, Veronica. Or is it Verona? Yeah, Veronica. I haven't heard of that. I'll have to try that. If you're trying to learn flower farming, I would definitely recommend Nicole with Flower Hill Farm for educational purposes. Definitely. Plus, she's just hilarious. Lisa Mason Ziegler, definitely for education. It's the Gardener's Workshop, I believe, is her YouTube channel. She goes into detail. Love Lisa Mason Ziegler. And then not really for learning how to flower farm, but for inspiration, You Can't Eat the Grass is one of my favorites to watch. Yeah, the Gardener's Workshop. For education, hands down. Florette does not have a YouTube channel, but the website Florette is definitely handy. And then Johnny Select Seeds is my go-to resource as well. They have a growers library on their website that will also help you. But if you're looking for YouTube channels, the Gardener's Workshop, Nicole at Flower Hill Farm, North Lawn Flower Farm has a lot of informational videos as well. I have seed to 1 month if you're just looking to see if that's what a seedling looks like. I actually show you what it's going to look like because I know when I started, I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know if it was grass or if it was something I planted. But there's all of that. And then You Can Eat the Grass for inspiration. Definitely, they are just so inspiring to watch. But those are my go-tos for learning, especially the Gardener's Workshop. The Flower Podcast, sometimes have, I forgot, Pepper Harrow Farm. I cannot believe I forgot them. Great resource as well. Pepper Harrow Farm is great for education and teaching you how to do bouquet wraps, how to grow flowers, and how to think of ways to make money while you're on the farm. So those are some great YouTubers as well. If you go to my channel page, I believe I have a list of channels that you can check out for that. The Flower Guy, if you want to learn how to grow dahlias, the Flower Guy is who you want to watch for that. He is all about the dahlias. He's not as polished, I would say, as Pepper Harrow Farm is, or the Gardener's Workshop, but he has a wealth of information when it comes to dahlias. So, thank you, Colorado Tulips. I appreciate that. You are amazing. Thank you for supporting this channel and giving me that super chat. Yeah, I love watching Ian and Serena with You Can't Eat the Grass. When I first started watching them, my husband would walk in on all of their weirdest moments. Like they were doing a Halloween special and Ian was dressed up as a purple unicorn and Serena had a mustache and he walked up and they're doing that bit and he's like, "What are you watching?" Yeah, I know. Pepper Harrow Farm's like a no-brainer and I just completely forgot about them. They've been through so much with a tornado hitting their farm and destroying. Well, go to bed. I hope you sleep well, and thank you for watching the live. I appreciate it. We have 13 minutes left. What other questions do y'all have? I am glad to answer them, and I'm so glad that y'all came to hang out with me on this live today. It's always good to chat with the flower people. Love chatting and doing the lives, and hopefully I can start attending the You Can't Eat the Grass lives again. You know, Ian and Serena were the first ones that really introduced me into flower farming. The Legend of Flower Face. Yeah, that was a good bit they did. That was hilarious. Zoe Woodward in the UK for education. I have not heard of her. I'm going to have to check out that channel. That's a new one. You know, that's the thing about YouTube. You will be very proud of me, Jessica. I did not buy any seeds from the Florette seed sale. So, K-Max, I was nervous about being able to sell the flowers, not necessarily about dealing with the customers. I've always been in kind of a customer-based retail, so it's easy for me to go and smile and do everything, but I was scared about, will I be able to move these flowers? Would I be able to build up a customer base that would actually want to buy them? And I would say social media has really helped with that, showing people the process of the farm and pushing that out. But you'd be surprised that majority of the people who come buy my flowers at the market don't follow me on Facebook. They hear it from a friend or through other means. But no, for actually selling the flowers like in person, that's easy to do for me. I just post on a smile and, hey, how are you doing this morning? I'm just here trying to sell these flowers. I've got to make room. I've got to buy tulips for next year. They love it when they know why you need to sell flowers. So if you tell them a goal that's happening, you're trying to sell some flowers today, so I'm buy tulips for next year, or tell them what's going on the farm. When I first started the farmer's market, I introduced myself a lot. I was like, hi, I'm Jessie. My farm is located in Ruston, not Ruston, Louisiana. My farm is located in Ruston. I grow these all in my backyard. I start everything from seed. These are all fresh cut, harvested last night. And I was just going to a spill about the flowers and who I was. And that would help. People want to help people. So being able to do that really help people go. Yeah, a business card with a QR code. Yeah, I tried a QR code sign. It didn't work very well for me. I used to have a sign that had my story and here's my website, and nobody would scan the QR code. I thought, especially with all the college kids, because we're a college town, the QR code would do really well. But it didn't, so I got rid of it. I just do the business cards with my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube logo on it and do it that way. And I tell people, so every once in a while, you kind of have to learn how to read people. But depending on how the conversation's going, I'll go, are you following me on social media? And if they say yes or no, if they say no, I tell them, well, sometimes I give away a free bouquet, so be sure to follow me on Facebook or Instagram. So that's another way you encourage your customers to follow you and to share. I'm not doing any of that stuff, John. I just don't have room. And quite honestly, the farm itself keeps me so busy with the fact I'm having to start seeds now, taking care of those seedlings, getting this farm prepped for incoming transplants next month. There's really no downtime with this farm, which is kind of what I'm working towards. I'm working to where I can take July and August off. We do not have basements. Here in Louisiana, we are actually below sea level, so we do not have basements. Here in North Louisiana, fun fact, since it's Halloween, we do bury in the ground in North Louisiana, but if you go down into New Orleans, they have vaults. Everything's above ground. That's where they bury the bodies and stuff. Yes, they technically don't bury the bodies because it'll rise up. And some of the cemeteries, you'll see the casket rising up through the grass if they didn't bury it deep enough or it has the waterworks. So no basements here. Yeah, she's a great one to follow, especially since she's in your zone. Lisa said, yuck. It's actually really cool. We went to New Orleans. I like going down to New Orleans, which is not considered Louisiana, in my opinion. They are not Louisiana. They are like a whole different state down there. But, yeah, we're below sea level. Everybody's going gross. There goes your morbid fact for the day. Growing up, that's just something we had to deal with here, was all that. I grew up across the street from a cemetery, so that's just normal. Do y'all have any other questions before we go? Anybody else want to know more about dead bodies in living in Louisiana? Hey, Brampton Gardner, you just made it, huh? You missed the fun part about talking about New Orleans. Oh, let me pull that down. Oh, I forget about Sunshine and Flora. Yep, she's a great channel as well. She's also great if you're living in the city. Oh, yeah, Roots and Refuge. I've been jealous of her cows. I want a milk cow so bad. One day I will have me a milk cow. One day. For Halloween. Chat. Noted. Christine. I think that's her name. Yes, that is her name. Colorado tulips, that's a good question. What would make me feel less like an imposter? I think that's just going to come with time. Like I said, it's not looking at everybody else's flower farm and thinking of where they're at versus where I'm at. I think it just comes with time. there are periods where I go through of, being so self-confident and being like, yes, I'm doing this, I'm a flower farmer. And then periods of, telling people that, yeah, I'm a flower farmer, I've got a small farm. They're like, oh, where's your farm? It's in my backyard. It's just, you go through periods of where you feel like, yes, I am a flower farmer, and then no. I think it's just something that's going to come with time. Oh, no. I hope it didn't go everywhere. Yeah, Michelle, I'm doing laundry right now. I don't know if y'all can hear the dryer going, trying to get all the laundry done. I've been so happy that I can see my kitchen table again now that flower farm season's over, but it's been taken over by laundry. Oh, Renee, that's a dangerous place to be. Sometimes you just have to start. I'm the opposite of that. I tend to just start without any information and just dive head first. My friend Caitlin, she's like, Jessie, you're always all or nothing. And it's true, I am. I had no clue about YouTube. I had no clue about flower farming besides watching a little bit of YouTube channels, and I just dove in. I am a firm believer in sometimes you just need to learn by experience. You can read about it all day. You can be talking about it all day, but until you actually do it, you're not going to know. And experience is the best teacher. You can definitely research and find out things, but you need to try. Just dive in, buy you some seeds and throw them out in your garden and grow 5 different flowers and try to sell them and see what happens. Blinded by the Light, it's a lot of fun. Just Daryl Eves is a great channel to watch on how to start a YouTube channel, and one thing people struggle there is just starting. Because you do wonder, I'm putting myself out here. I'm putting myself out here to be judged. I'm putting myself out here to be criticized. And I'm not gonna lie, I do get a couple of comments, but not many. I don't get too many comments that are rude or mean. And you do have to be thick-skinned. You do need to have a thick skin and be able to brush off, because you'll have so many encouraging comments, but you have to deal with that one rude comment every once in a while. And it's okay. Some people you can't make happy. They're just not to be happy. But that's okay. My older videos are horrendous, but that's how you learn. That's why you don't listen to people or your mom when you were growing up. No problem, Blinded by the Light. All right, we are coming up to the hour. It's about to be 4:30. You have not had a rude comment yet. Yeah, my husband told me that that's how you know you've made it as a YouTuber, is when you get your first rude comment. So I feel like I've made it. I do not have help being filmed whatsoever. It's just me out there moving my camera around a lot. My husband, he works a full-time job as well, and he works a job where he has to wake up super early. So by the time he gets home, he's exhausted, and he doesn't feel like following me around with the camera. Sometimes I get them in if he's had the day off, but otherwise, no. Thank you for cheering me on, Nick. I'm so glad to have you here. Yes, basil is still my favorite. It is my go-to for filler foliage. I love it. I will continue to grow that. I'm growing honeywort kiwi blue this year for the first time, so we'll see if maybe that'll knock basil out of its seat as being my favorite filler, but so far it is still my favorite. Yeah. He'll do the bits with me. He will do the bits. My kids actually don't want to be on the channel most of the time. They want to be, but they don't want to be. Like, they want to be on the channel until I'm like, all right, you have to act like this. and then the camera goes to rolling, and then they get intimidated. Because if you think about it, this is going to be seen by hundreds, if not thousands of people. And my daughter, her friends actually sometimes watch the channel. So she gets a little embarrassed. My son loves being on it, though, and does a great job when he is on it. Yeah, some care, some don't. My husband, it really just depends on what we're doing. Sometimes like, hey, I got a great idea. This is what we're going to do. My favorite was definitely when we were doing the Flower Farm Money music video. If you have not seen my Flower Farm Money video, you should go watch it. It will give you a great laugh. I had a blast. That was the only time I did have help with him filming me. I did have to have him film me to get the angles going out of the bathtub and stuff, and filming while my sister-in-law he had to throw money while my sister-in-law filmed. Unless he's in the background. Yes, being on camera and filming gets easier. Like I said in the last live, I am watching how to do more cinematography, how to get better B-roll and get better shots overall. So I'm hoping, in the coming weeks, I'll be able to do even better. I will check her out. Thank you for recommending her, Veronica. I appreciate it. It's always good to have a new channel to watch. Can one ever have too many YouTube channels to watch? Acre Homestead. I have not watched them. I'll have to go check them out. That's another thing. I like watching other YouTubers as well, just to kind of see the shots they get and take inspiration. Catherine Manning is where I get a lot of my inspiration for the vlogging shots, like when I've got the camera in the refrigerator. When you see like one smooth shot of me opening the refrigerator, and then from me reaching in, all those different angles, that's me constantly moving the camera and setting it up. Filming takes so much time, but that's something I've learned is I have to stop being lazy. I've got to take more angles. I've got to move the camera around more, and it just makes better video. Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate that. I've got the it factor. Little garden, big dreams. I'll tell you now, I've cut the intros really. I used to have a full-on intro into my YouTube videos, and I cut that out. Now what I really do is I do like a 10-second clip, if anything, of what's coming in the video, like a little highlight reel of the most interesting parts, and then get straight into the video. If you're doing an educational video, get right into the education, or tell them, this is exactly what I'm getting into. Okay. Mike from that chapter. Ooh, I'll have to check him out. All right, y'all. I hate to leave this chat because I'm having so much fun with y'all, but I've got to go fry up some deer steak and feed my family. I don't cook ever, but this is the one thing I do cook, and I promised my kids I'd make them some fried deer steak. I try not to sugarcoat anything. I try to be real with y'all, and I appreciate the fact that y'all appreciate it. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that so much. Pretty cool. Yeah, sorry, Every Rose Cottage, I'm leaving. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much again for joining live, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Costume?